today, and there were some interesting looks at receiver guys like Wyking being at the top and like Landry sneaking in as on the or option. Can you tell us about your relationship with some of the receivers we don't typically ask you about?
Well, they're all great guys. Phillip Brooks is another guy that'll step in there and play. Joaquin, Landry. Landry Weber just got put on scholarship, and he is so deserving of that. He's one of the hardest working guys on our football team, and he's Mr. Consistent. He shows up every day. He's going to give his very best effort, and I think that is the reason why he showed up on the depth chart there. And Joaquin Gill is another guy. I think in spring he really opened my eyes. Like, this guy, he could be really good for us this year. He needs to continue that over into this fall camp. And he has a lot of confidence. I think that's what I like about Joaquin the most. Is he plays with a lot of confidence. He believes in himself, and he goes out there and makes plays. And so that's another reason why he probably surprised some people up at the top. But Phillip Brooks is a guy from Kansas City, Missouri. Got to give him a shout out for that. But he's a smaller guy, but he can run really well. He's really quick, and he's a younger guy. He's going to get more experience and get better as he gets older. But we have a good receiving core, and we're going to rotate a lot of guys in and out of there, and get them in certain situations that are going to help them be successful. Another guy is Sebastian Taylor, who I don't think was on the depth chart there, but he'll be another guy that'll step in there and make some plays for us. And it's just, Sebastian's, you look at him and, that guy belongs on the field, just how big he is. But it's just, we just got to build up his confidence and get him truly believing in himself. And and I hope he knows that for me that he can be really great for us. And it's just getting extra throws after practice and just building a continuity with him and a trust factor that I think will be great for us moving forward.
Quarterback's one spot where you can't go out and hit somebody usually to get rid of your nerves. Like, what do you do as a quarterback to get rid of nerves early during a game?
That's a great question. I think for me, I don't know. I try to calm my nerves with the music I listen to before the games, because if I'm sitting there, listening to some, hip hop or something that is going to make me want to go play defense or something.
Right.
I can't, or I'm going to overthrow everything by a million yards. So I gotta chill out a little bit. But I think it's normally with me. It's honestly probably getting hit. It's probably getting hit or getting that first throw off. I think that calms my nerves pretty well, because it's just like a highly anticipated moment, and especially this Saturday it's gonna be a surreal moment. I think that I'm gonna really cherish this time on Saturday, and there's just been a lot of anticipation, and I've worked so hard for this season that I have high expectations for myself and for this football team. So it's just going to be going out there and just playing free, and not looking at the scoreboard. I think that's the most important thing is realizing who I'm doing this for, why I'm playing this game, and just playing free. I think that's the biggest thing that I'm going to do going into Saturday, and the rest will take care of itself.
Like on that note, even coaches said they want you to feel you'll make a mistake at some point. You'll throw a pick at some point.
Yeah.
They want you to know you're not coming out of the game. Like, are you already used to that, or is that something where the first time the mistake comes, you're gonna have that thought in your head?
No, I'm already used to that.
Yeah.
I've built that in practice, and just by playing with confidence and taking risks, but being smart about how I take those risks. And I've thrown picks in practice. I made a boneheaded decision the other day, throwing across my body, and AJ Parker picked me off, and it was just a moment that I walked off like, man, I shouldn't have done that. I know I shouldn't have done that, and they didn't say nothing to me. Like they know that I know that. I think, but that's allowed me to have a short-term memory and bounce back for the next play. I think my biggest advocate is that I just try to be so perfect. I have like I said, so many high expectations for myself that when I miss a throw or something's not executed the way that it should be done, like I'm my biggest advocate as far as just being mad at myself, or upset with myself. And the coaches know that I have so high, high expectations for myself to where, all they do is critique me and and direct me in the way that I should. But they know that I know right from wrong and whatnot. But it's just the confidence factor and just trusting myself. Excuse me. And just carrying that over into Saturday.
How important is it to win this game to start off the Klieman era?
Yeah, it's really important for a new era for Coach Klieman and just K-State football in general because, like I said, it's highly anticipated. Us players, obviously, and for the coaches, but you can only imagine what the K-State fan base is like too. They haven't seen, what offense, how's our offense going to look, how's our defense going to look. There's a lot of highly anticipated, moments that are coming up, and I just, for me, I've seen behind the scenes the work that Coach Klieman has put into the season and our coaching staff, and that just makes me want to go win so badly for them, and that's my promise to the coach. I don't need to, say this, but I will, but to the coaches and to the fans that, I'm going to go give my very best on Saturday, and I'm going to play my heart out for them, and give them, my very best in all aspects of the game and to my teammates, and I think that's the approach that I'm going to have every game this year is, I'm not playing for myself. I could care less of how many touchdowns I throw or run for, yards, all that stuff means nothing. I want to win, and that's the most important thing that is on my mind, and whatever that consists of, that the coaches asked me to do, I'm going to do to my very best and give them my full heart is, when I step on that field.
What kind of lift does a healthy Nick Leonard's bring to the offense?
He's a very versatile guy. He's athletic. He's a big guy, but he can move well. We have him playing at fullback right now, but he can play tight end as well. You'll see him all over the place. He just gives us a lot of options. And he got his medical red shirt back. He has 4 years, I think, or something like that. 3. Which is really, really good for him. And he's only going to get better. He's only going to get better because in this offense, the tight end and fullback, that's a big key to the offense and our team's success. And he's going to be a guy that's just going to continue to get better as he gets more experience and more reps and playing time. And I'm just looking forward to working with him this season. He's a great guy, and he's only going to get better as time goes on.
Something this coaching staff has talked a lot about is not knowing exactly what the team will look like whenever the bright lights come on Saturday. So with that in mind, what should this coaching staff expect out of this group of athletes?
I would just expect a group of guys that are going to go play hard and have fun. I think that's we have some characters on our football team, some really, really good high character guys that I think that are going to be able to express themselves this weekend as we make a big play, or score a touchdown or whatever that may be on the sidelines. Like the morale of this team is better than it's ever been since I've been here, and I just think we're just so excited to go out there and play for one another. And we've been competing and bashing heads for the past 3 weeks, and we're just excited to go play somebody else. And I think I'm speaking for 110 other guys. Like we've worked and sacrificed so much time out of our lives the past 8 months, and our entire lives in general for moments like this. And I just think we're so excited to go out there and play and just have fun and just do what the coach asks of us, and the rest will take care of itself and hopefully come out with a win.
I may word this dumb, and you can tell me if I do, but the previous staff, I felt like there was almost an obsession with running the right play, getting into the right play. I'm sure you guys still want to. Is it still to that level that you're going to check 3 times if you need to, or are you going to be more apt to maybe run what's called?
Yeah, well, I think we have a lot of all-purpose stuff that we can run. We have options.
Yeah.
To where the checking isn't as necessary. We have options. If we get man coverage, zone
Same
coverage.
Formation, just a different.
Yeah. So that's kind of eliminate that. And we're getting in the huddle. I wouldn't. I have no idea. I haven't played a game yet
right.
in this system. So I can't answer probably accurately as I could in probably a couple of weeks, but I would just say the best way to put it is that there's a lot more all-purpose to it, and we have answers. It might not be the best play versus what they're going to do, but we can counter to it and make it into we can make a good play out of it. And I think it's just, another thing Coach Klieman really, talks to us about is just being a football player and making plays. It's not going to be perfect all the time.
Right.
You're gonna get surprised on some things, and they bring in pressure that I may miss, or they may run a coverage that I may think was something else. But it's just about recognizing that and just being a football player and going and making a play. And I think that's the biggest thing that we're gonna preach around our football team, offensively and defensively, is just to trust ourselves and go out there and play. And I think that will lead us to being very successful.
Denzel talked about as your roommate, he's seen. I mean, you talked a lot about, I guess, being more confident and maybe looser, but even at home too, that you seem to be, I guess, having more fun. Is that just all a byproduct of feeling comfortable in your own skin, kind of?
Yeah, I would just say there's been I don't know how to exactly put it into words, but with the way that I shouldered last year, it was I've talked about it time and time again. It was pretty tough on me, and it was a hard time. But I gained a lot from that time in my life, and I learned a lot about myself, and I think that's the biggest thing going into this season. I've just I realize more than ever how much of an opportunity this game and a gift that this game is, and it's it's something that I take really seriously and have worked for my entire life for moments like this. But being a quarterback doesn't define who I am, and I think that's the biggest thing that I've learned in the past 6 months of my life is that this game is really important to me and everything, but it's not who I am, and it doesn't define the person that I am, and I can't allow that to define me. You know what I'm saying? I felt like last year there were times where how I was playing or what was going on during the season like that was defining me, and there was times where I had no idea what my future was going to consist of here, if I was going to be here next year or not. Like, we didn't make a bowl game, and I mean there was a lot of things going on. But if you look back at those things, those things are so small, to me at least, and compared to some things that I've been through in my life. And I just think it's realizing how much of an opportunity this game has given me just to express the person that I am. And just being confident in myself. And I think that's what Denzel's talking about, just in outside of football as well. Like I've turned over my life to God, and I was baptized this summer, and I just feel so much more free and lifted up, and I'm not gonna have any regrets. That's one thing I told myself going into this season, and my life in general, just moving forward, is I'm going to live my life to the fullest, and I'm going to be myself, and I'm not going to hold back on that, and just not have any regrets. I don't want to, 2 years from now, whenever my time's done here at K-State, I want people to remember who I am as a person, more so than a football player. And I think that's the biggest thing for me. And what I'm going to cherish the most is, people, my dad always raised me, and Denzel always talked about this too, is it's like people are going to remember you for the person you are, more so than the football player. They're not going to remember that touchdown you threw. They might, but they're not going to, hypothetically speaking, remember that touchdown you threw against Baylor or whatever the case may be. Like, they're going to remember the person you were and how you interacted with this the fan base, or with just the person at the gas station. Like simple things like that. And that's something that I've really, paid attention to and try to make a major priority in my life.